All right. That was slick now, wasn't it? Okay, part 2. Here we go. Because I am going to split this up. Part 2. Part 1. Part 1. So welcome everybody to part 2. Welcome everybody to part 2. Thanks, Kevin. Oh my goodness. So part 1, if you haven't seen it yet, part 1 we talk about the sun and the moon solely, what it's doing and some other things, okay? Part 2 we're going to talk about everybody else except for the sun and moon, because there's other players in the cosmos is doing some things. Oh, it's no apologies, Em. No apologies at all. I'm not upset at all, and no one else should be either. You're very welcome, Rosie. Rosie's talking about this. We did a podcast, guys, so I'm just minor detour. Podcast on Sunday with Shaman Iris Meyer. And you should be able to find that on the Sunday Soul podcast playlist here on YouTube. You'll be able to find that on Spotify, iTunes. Where else? I thought it was on iHeart already, but it's not. And Spreaker. Right now, we're waiting for the others to approve us. Okay. You're quite welcome. All right, here we go. So let's look at this now. Let's look at the other players, okay? Because I know y'all are like, women, get to the gets. Get to the gets. Okay, here we go. So we know what we got going on down here now, right? We talked about this in the first. We got the solar eclipse, new moon, Mercury. Got it? Now, Mars is doing a whole lot. As the kids would say, Mars is doing the most during this solar eclipse. So I'm going to go around the horn. Mars is Mars is at home. Of course, it rules Scorpio. It is at home in Scorpio. It is about getting ready to leave Scorpio and enter into Sag. It will be crossing over the it'll be conjunct the south node. So kind of whatever you all like, whatever energies you reverted that you were just that was just like your norm, you're gonna want to go back there. So you know how some of us put certain people up on the shelf? Like there's a younger version of Lisa, excuse me, that I put up on a shelf and I leave her there. And I really try not to bring her back down. Occasionally, though, she may get dusted off and brought back because I might need her, you know, every once in a blue moon. Now, I really do try to leave her up on that shelf because she's not as high vibrational and she's not as ascended as the current version that you see before you. So I really do leave her there as much as is humanly possible. Okay. Now, um, so anyway, back to this. So Mars is going to then it's gonna be conjunct that south node as they're gonna be like two ships. I think it's gonna conjunct it as it's going into Scorpio. Oh, it's gonna be nasty. Anyway, but Mars is doing the most. It's agitating. Like it's in its last degrees of being at home. Like it's got a long trip before it gets back over there to Aries. If we're gonna go retrograde at a time or so, Annie, it's got a long way to get around that there corner. So this is last hurrah. So for a minute. So Mars is sextiling Venus and Pluto in Capricorn, which means you guys remember what sextiling means. That's like they're cousins. They're in agreement. Now they might not be in total riot or die like I'ma ride up for you even if you right, wrong, or indifferent agreement, but they're kinda cool. They're like, "Okay, I get it. Like, I'm with you. I'm in agreement. I'm still gonna tell you where you book, on BS." But, here we go. So, Mars sextiling Venus, this can bring, if you're in a relationship with someone, it can end up bringing a renewed appreciation of one another, physically and emotionally, especially if you decide to, have a little away time. Now, I'm not saying go out here and travel on this during solar eclipse, but if you happen to be somewhere, okay, you happen to be somewhere. Um, Being single though, the lines between, well, not the thin line between love and hate. It's a thin line. Okay. Anyway, but the lines between affection and lust, however, can get a little bit blurry. Okay? So don't be confusing lust and love. Don't be confusing that. You singles ready to mingle. And be careful who you're mingling with. Um, what's gonna happen is that basically anything with a heartbeat, is good. I don't mean that in any harm. But what I'm saying is if you're single and ready to mingle or almost single or consider yourself single and just ain't filed the paperwork or whatever your situation is, I don't know, boo-boo. You do you. But you're going to find yourself, Gemini, you're going to find yourself attracted to anybody that like has like a really like they're fun and they're da, and you're going to think this is wonderful. I could be with them for the rest of my life. So just be careful, especially, you might be meeting these one night flings at if you're out and about, like at a party or something like that, a club. If you're going to the clubs, I don't care if it's the young clubs or the old clubs. If you're out there listening to some music, people look real good at the end of the night. You walked in, I woke up, right? You got the look. Mm. So there's a line in that song too by Prince. Closing time, ugly lights, everybody's inspected. But you are a natural beauty unaffected. In other words, you know how at the end of the night, I mean, this what had used to happen with us. Now, and maybe it didn't happen with y'all. Y'all live these pristine lives, but it happened with us. At the end of the night, it'd be what they used to call them beer goggles, whiskey goggles, whatever you was drinking. Okay. So everybody looked real good at that point in time. So, anyway, moving right along. Okay. Be careful what you're doing, is all I'm trying to say. Don't be running around sleeping with people's. Because remember, solar eclipse, you setting some bad, you're intensifying everything and you're really setting a lot of things into motion. Um, you're gonna be very tempted. Okay, very tempted to go have some good times. Mars sextiling Pluto. Um, and see, this doesn't help that whole like lustful energy from Venus. She really doing the most. Like she basically is like, listen, my cousin is about to break me out of this here jail in Capricorn, and I'm fixing to sneak out, and we're gonna go have some fun. And Pluto is just like, girl, I've been trying to bust out too. I'm going with you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's like. So you're gonna be stirred to take it action. Like it's basically from deep down within, it's gonna be like, I gotta do what I gotta do. Now, in a non-sexual romantic way, it could also end up being where you just know that this is something you've been born to do and you're ready to do it and you're ready to finally take action. Okay. You're gonna be willing to do whatever it takes to transform whatever your situation is towards your own benefit. It won't matter what somebody else would do or wouldn't do. You just gonna take care of it. Now, basically, it's one of those things where you've had enough though. Like you're so fed up with the status quo, whatever that status quo might be, that you just had enough. Whether or not it's like legitimate like real or it's imagined. So be careful that you're not like imagining this, because also what's happening is Pluto and Venus are sextiling Neptune, and Mars is trining Neptune. So there's a lot of like this illusionary stuff happening over here in Pisces in the sixth house. And that is still very, relationship, work, whatever, that kind of, right? Like it's the last of the personal houses. So it's like the last of what you have held to your own, right? To be like really important to you on a personal level. So your dreams, your aspirations, from it's gonna run the gamut, career, love, whatever. So be very careful that you're not taking like you not decided this is an insufferable wench. I can't live with her no more. Or this is an insufferable hoe and I can't live with him no more. Like, be careful with that because this is a temporary transit. So you might be seeing things that aren't there or making a mountain out of a molehill. So be very, very careful is all I'm trying to say, beloveds. Okay, just be very careful. Um, However, if you're finally making up the choice to finally make the change, there's literally nothing that's going to be able to stop you. You're not really going to be interested in compromise, and honestly, if it's legitimate where it's like you've already been compromising your ideals and you've already been compromising your morals, your moral compass, your integrity, your authenticity, then probably you shouldn't be doing that any longer anyway. And that's kind of where this trine with Neptune comes in at, is that it makes you very sensitive, but it also makes you very intuitive, and it makes you very willing to stand up for what is right and what is right for you. You're going to be willing to stand up for yourself rather than just kind of sitting back, okay? And just letting people kind of rip and run roughshod over you. Um, what might be the problem? Oh, also you will probably like this is a good time to do charitable work and stuff like that as well. Um, I would just say choose your battles wisely though, because Pisces and Mars, I mean Neptune and Mars trining is a very dangerous combination because literally it's like you're already peeping behind the curtain, you're already not trusting anything, you're already just like you're full of crap. And then basically Neptune is saying, yeah, absolutely. I've been holding their secrets for forever. And guess what? They've not been telling the truth all this time. But I've been in retrograde. Now I'm direct. So I'm going to snitch. You know what I'm saying? Or now you don't, now the fog is clearing. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Right? I can see all obstacles in my way. Okay. So that's kind of what's happening here. Right? It's clearing up. And so you just got to be sure that you're interpreting the tea leaves, as they say, correctly. Okay. The last thing Mars is doing is Mars is squaring Jupiter. Let me give this red. Oops. And then we're going to red here. Um, this is going to, considering the everything else that I literally just told you, this is going to give you like the utmost in confidence. Like usually, right, squares are like butting heads, but squares are also calls to action. Like I prefer to think of squares as calls to action rather than butting heads. It's challenging. It's like I double dog dare you to do it, right? So, so you're gonna be like uber confident, like just try not to bite off more than you can chew. Pay attention though to what is inspiring you towards new growth and new plateaus and new things. Like go on and do it and go on and add, go on and go towards that. So you are heading towards like this is a time period, especially with this new moon, right? And with the sun in Sag, period. But like this is a very ego-driven moment. Like this is like, well, I'm that. I'm all that in a bag of chips, and I know that. And Mars squaring Jupiter, especially in the placements that they're in, will definitely make you feel like you're all that in a bag of chips. And I'm not saying that you're not, because I feel like you are. Baby, you're a star, right? So I feel like you are. But I'm just warning you, be careful because you could like fall into like an unhealthy ego, right? There's a difference between, hey, I know who I am. Like there's a difference between that and like, I know who I am and you can't tell me nothing and I ain't trying to hear what you got to say and you need to step it off. Even though I'm about to step off a cliff and you trying to stop me, okay? That's the difference. Um, this is really gonna amplify your dreams as well, and really, I mean, it's a good energy to get you to get moving, I will tell you that, and growing. And you're probably gonna be dreaming a lot more. Kitty, put your booty down. Dreaming a lot more about what, is going to make you happy. I would also, if you whatever come on. Look to see what's in your 10th house or where you're lay down, lay down. Or where you're like what sign your natal 10th house is, your MC. It's really gonna have a lot of effect there. Like how you're perceived. Like you're really gonna seek to be sure that you are perceived in the best light that's possible. We talked about this one. Oh, Mercury square Neptune. We talk about that. So Mercury squaring Neptune, I don't know if we talked about that too much before, but this is really the time to kind of step out of just the day-to-day mundane and step into dreamland. This is the time for you to step out of the matrix and step into like Zion. Um and just kind of but let yourself wander. Like get some rest, let yourself wander, let your mind rest and let your energetic body really take off and dream because dreamland is real. I work with someone whose company name is Dream Life is Real Life. She's on Facebook. Go find her. Facebook group, Dream Life is Real Life. Um, and it's true. So when you can like shut your mind down long enough to realize that your dream life is actually your real life, because that's what your higher self is like, oh, this is of my highest good, and we're gonna manifest that. That no, that's a really good thing. Um, da 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 da. Um, okay. What else here? Oh, Neptune. I think we talked about Neptune sextiling Venus. So that's really, it's basically it's like Prince's erotic city. I'm really stuck on Prince. Can you tell? Like seriously, that's like this is a whole lot of Prince energy. Like I could literally go through all of his albums and give you a complete soundtrack to all these shenanigans. There's a lot of erotic energy rolling around down here. Rolling in the deep. A little Adele. But there's a lot going on here. So, like, listen, let me tell you something. If y'all ain't been getting any action, this is Action Jackson time too. Just be careful who you actioning with. Safe, safety first at all times. Do not step on my computer. She will turn it off. Okay. Okay, Saturn square Uranus is the one we have not talked about. I need to go to my chat and see what y'all are thinking about what the hell I've been saying here. Mass trouble shutting your mind off. Hey, Yanni. Feeling energy. I'm speaking. It's bad. It's bad. Like, I'm telling you, it is so bad. Okay, we're back. Let me go back to the charts. Okay. Um, Saturn square Uranus. Saturn down here. squaring Uranus, and that's still in retrograde. You know, Uranus be hanging out in retrograde for forever. Um, Especially with the placements where they are. This is like a global fight. This is a global like battle to evolve to where we wish to evolve to, where we know intuitively, instinctually we should evolve to and not be held down by fear and tyranny, right? Um it can feel like everywhere you turn it's kind of booby trapped, or it's not like someone's out to get you at every turn. But and you want to break free like just as quickly as you can, right? What I'm going to say is this is that there is actual transformation, like actual like sudden change that's waiting for you, waiting for all of us in our day-to-day lives. It's been put on pause a little bit, I think, so we can A, catch our breath a little bit, and B, I think so that things could be revealed. Remember, we've been talking about this like n- this Neptunian reveal, right? We've been talking about Mars, just like, you know, Mars and scorpionic energy is just like, oh, I'm telling. No, wait a minute. No, first I'm gonna hold it in my back pocket until it's the right time. Then I'm gonna bust it out on you because you full of ish, and I'm gonna take care of it, right? Like, but I'm gonna build my case, and then I'm gonna blow up your spot, right? So that's kind of the energy, right? Along with all of this rather erotic kind of, you know, sensual, sexual energy, these undertones that are there. And this is kind of the primal basal like energy that's just it's weird because it's permeating the entire consciousness because we've got this like floating around in like Aquarius and Sagittarius and like Pisces that are like collective consciousness, Capricorn, collective consciousness signs. And really the last four signs. They're collective consciousness. Well, the zodiac wheel, if you think about it, what do Sagittarians do? They unite people, right? Hey, let's all party. Ah, right? Capricornians, it's like, oh, going to rule you. There's the moral compass. I'm going to rule you. Aquarius, what's for the greatest good of all? Right? And Pisceans are like, everybody live and let live. Just come on. We can live in harmony. Let's not dream and make it all better. Like, we can do this together. We could just chill, man. Right? Don't worry, be happy, man. Yeah. So all this energy is going on, and Mars is really instigating most of this, by the way. I will have you know. I am going to blame it on Mars. Um, so we've got this like Saturnian, what's the new and latest and greatest thing, and how can I liberate people, right? Through a complete restructure. That's going to be fourth house daily life kind of, right? Fourth house, like that's really going to be impactful at home and for families and things of that nature. And then you've got this disruptor in Taurus that just will not leave the house, will not go anywhere, keeps going in a retrograde, will not go. And is like, yeah, dude, I'm in this eighth house. And so I'm chilling. Let me rewrite. Remember, the eighth house is not just this house of hidden wisdoms, but it is also the house of other people's resources and contractual agreements, real estate and contractual agreements. So I would be looking for some very serious financial, on a very global scale, um, restructuring to happen. I would be looking for um, transference of like real estate. I would say that changing hands. I hope, what I hope is not going to happen is there is some sort of real estate market crash. I'm not trying to put that out in the air in the cosmos. However, what I will say is there's going to be a major change. This is going to kick it off. I'm not saying on Saturday, right, overnight, but I am saying it's going to kick it off and it's going to affect us and structurally how we operate. Um, I'm not saying it's a bad thing either. I'm just saying it's a thing. We're gonna have to stop assigning good or bad to things. I'm saying it is what it is. So day-to-day life once again will change. I feel like, and it's continuing to change, but I feel like there's going to be either new contracts written, so to speak, right? New agreements written, or old ones tossed out, or we come to a new understanding of how we should, contractually, how ruling bodies or large corporations should really be interacting with us, how we should allow ourselves to interact with them. I'm just spitballing, guys. We'll pull some cards tomorrow and see what I get. So it's squaring. Oh, I was right the first time. I don't know why I was thinking it's trying. Yep, squaring. I'm right. Um. Okay. Yep. I think that's all my notes. So that's a kind of a. I mean, I guess I say the best for last. While we're all here down here partying like it's 1999, and everybody want to like drink tequila and let their clothes fall off, then all of a sudden we got this whole thing happening where the economic system and our day to day lives could very well change. Things are also ripe for a nice little UFO to pop up. Um, just saying, things are ripe for aliens to show up. I mean, it's anything can happen. Anything can happen. So that's part two. Jupiter aligning with Mars. Hang on, guys. Let me bring that up. Did I miss that? I think I talked about that, Gemini Rose. I talked about Jupiter squaring Mars already. That was a lot of transits ago. So we got Mars there. We got, oops. Okay. We got Jupiter here. Yeah, we talked about Jupiter squaring Mars. You're going to be very like, hey, I could do everything. I could do it all. Just be careful. Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Be careful you don't jump off a cliff. Be careful you just don't jump off a cliff, okay? But it's going to give you a lot of confidence and a lot of surety about yourself. And it's a good time to do new things. All righty. It's in the song. What song is that in? Oh, the age of Aquarius. Oh. Oh. Girl, listen to me. I don't know, child. I don't know. All I know is, people are just, ooh, child, we just doing the most around here. I don't know what y'all is doing. Y'all cheering is really acting up. Okay. I don't know. Auntie Husenheimer. Okay, well, I didn't put this disclaimer in the other one. Everything in this here video is opinion and interpretation, except for what I said about how attenuated viruses work in the body. Okay, that's fact. Okay, here we go. I'm going to say this again for part two. For the end of part two, Intercede for Humanity, Saturday, December the 4th at 1:15 p.m. Central. It is a private Zoom prayer meeting. I am assembling like we used to do back in the church. We used to call the women folk when we needed to intercede for something that was going on that was bigger than all of us. And so I'm calling all of you. I'm calling us in. We're going to come together. We're going to pray. We're going to meditate. We're going to do what we do, but we're going to be decent and in order. The only thing I ask is that you be of the light and that you be working of the light. There's a link down in the description below. You can go to heartofinspiration.net and then go over to the on my site, there's a Intercede for Humanity tab. You can go there. By the way, by the by, I have put up as Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. I love that. Yes, Rosie, it's after. Yep, it's right after, about a half hour or so after that. Half hour or so after. 45 minutes maybe. Okay, by the by, everybody, I have put up, I'm going to show this to you guys. I have put up the grid for, okay, here we go. I've put up the grid for the new moon. Oh, I don't want this one. So you can go over to my website, heartofinspiration.net. And I just want to show it to you really quick. Chrome tab. Okay. Nope, not that one. This one. Okay, so this is the grid this month. I went back to the seed of life because this is all about new beginnings, about embracing our new beginnings, about embracing our new selves and living as our new selves. So, the center stone this month is the focus stone is a clear quartz. And then I chose amethyst, pyrite, and rhodolite. Rondolite. I never say it right. Rhodonite. 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 So I chose all of those. Okay. It's color coded. You cannot mess this up. This one's going to be for helping you with clarity, abundance, and manifestation in all areas of your life. And then I do have it's a 3-pager. This is totally free. Go download it on my site. Okay. And then you can download this, print it off. You can use this grid, right? Put stones right on there. It's real cool. And then, here you have what the stones represent and why we chose them. Okay. So go over there. And that link to that is also down in the description box below. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. We are going to be live tomorrow, and I'm going to pull cards. I'm going to try to go live earlier in the day. We're going to pull cards for all signs. And then on the new moon, I'll have the new moon meditation ready to rock and roll for you guys on the 3rd. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste. Bye-bye.